buy a boat.
Yes,
I think
do it.
I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's already worth it to like wake up every day on the water and just have space around you and have the water around you, and I think it calms you down in a way as well. It gives a lot of stress with engines, but it also calms you down again. Yeah. When I saw the orange boat turning up, I was like, ooh, they have a nice tomato garden on top. That was the first thing I thought.
And some very ugly paintings.
And then actually the boat has the same name as my best friend.
Yeah, that was super
So
funny.
that was really the first thing where I was like, wow, this boat is bright orange. It's very much there in your face, which my best friend is as well. And it has the same name. So that's really the first thing I thought.
Sean, living in Amsterdam at the moment. That's also where we are heading to with the boat. And I'm a carpenter, 31 years old.
I'm Chiara. I'm 24 years old. I'm at the moment living in Amsterdam. I'm a bit in between. I'm gonna move again in a couple of months. And that's actually what happens with Dutch bridges. Sometimes they just don't open that often, so they scream when they open. I'm a designer. I work in wearable technology usually, and sometimes I do some film production on the side as well. We were searching on the internet for a van, and I saw a boat. And then a couple of days later, I talked to a friend who lives on a boat himself. And I showed him the boat that she found on the internet, and I said, "Could this be something to I don't know, purchase?" And he started laughing very hard because about 10 minutes earlier, he showed that boat, or he found it on the internet himself, and he showed it to a guy who was also looking for a boat. And I started to panic a little bit because I thought, "Oh wow, it might be a very good deal." And I think another 10 minutes later, I phoned up the guy who was selling the boat. And we could come and look at the boat about 2 hours later, and the deal was done. So I've been told it's a flat bottom. I don't know much about boats, to be honest. It's a very new adventure. It's a boat they used to carry manure with, or sugar canes or stuff like that, and the top, sort of the house part on top of the boat, it wasn't there for a long time. I think they put it on about 50 years ago. What I thought when I saw the boat, well, of course I had already seen it online, and I have a bit of experience with boats, as in I've been sailing all my life. Honestly, when I saw the boat, I thought it looked a bit like a sauna inside.
It does.
But no, I think it's an amazing project. It's definitely a project because there's a lot of work to do on it. There's a lot of rust that needs to be taken away, but I think it has an amazing potential to be a very beautiful and comfortable boat to live on. It's like a tiny house on the water. Okay.
So the very first time was actually already about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Then that's when we bought the boat, and it was still in a very little marina, where it was for about 30 years before we now took it out for the very first time.
And the first time we went out with it, there was because it was like the marina was part of a campsite.
Yeah.
So when we sailed away, the entire half of the campsite, which was 30 people, gathered, because it had been there for 30 years. So for them, it was really part of the view there, and part of the
furniture almost.
Part of the interior of the thing, and everyone came to see us sail away. But it was the first time that we actually took the boat for it was like our test drive. And everyone was looking at how we were doing it, and it worked at once, which was great.
Yeah.
And then everyone was waving at us like, "Bye, guys."
Ooh, Well, we haven't.
14.5 meters.
14.5 meters.
Eh,
It has a 65 horsepower engine.
Yeah.
And,
That works again now.
It works again.
Yeah.
We fixed it about 5 minutes ago. Woo! And it doesn't go that fast.
I think the maximum that we reached now was 9 kilometers an hour.
About 10 kilometers
10,
an hour.
yeah.
But
9,
we
10
didn't go
kilometers
full out with it.
No.
Also because the engine is old, we don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Because it's a flat bottom and it doesn't have a keel or swords on the side, what you normally would have at the flat bottom, the swords, it goes everywhere.
Yeah.
So if there's a little current coming from the side, you'll be pushed around your own X or just drifting away. And it's very. The second bridge we had to pass, we already. How do you say that? Drove it into the side.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we didn't get.
Into the banks, right? It's called banks.
Into
yeah.
the banks, and we didn't
Yeah.
get away. So actually, we had to tell the people from the bridge, yeah, just close it again. We're just not getting away here.
Yeah, we'll take the next one.
Next round.
Yeah. No, I think that was around our first day. But honestly, we've been on our way for about 4 days now. We were in like canals.
A few in the canals here in Groningen. That's where we are right now. The engine suddenly started getting very, very hot. And I looked at the back and I saw it was giving a bit of smoke, but no water.
Yeah.
It should normally cool down the smoke on the back and cool the engine. So we put it to the side, somewhere in a spot we actually were not supposed to do that.
No.
And some friendly people on the, what is the kade?
They were just on the pavement.
The key.
On the quay.
quay.
Yeah.
On the
They're
side.
on the side. And they immediately helped us out by like
Immediately
grabbing
reacted.
the ropes and
Yeah.
everything. And then
They have to be experienced boat people themselves.
and then we basically dragged, like after looking at it and everything, we dragged the boat until the spot where we are now
By hand.
by hand, and then some other people that like passed and wanted to drag us along for like a couple of meters. And then we opened it up, and first we thought it was a filter, right?
Yeah, I thought it had something to do with the seaweed filter.
Yeah.
Not sure how you call that.
Sea strainer.
Sea
Sea
strainer.
strainer.
Yeah.
And that happened out to be not it.
No.
So looking a bit further, it looked more and more like it was the impeller,
Yeah.
or the rubber part of the impeller.
Which is
when
supposed
I-
to have 12 thingies sticking out, and it had absolutely
Ours had none.
0.
So I opened up the
Yeah.
engine and I found a ton of different parts of rubber everywhere.
Yeah. So took that out yesterday,
Yeah.
and then today tried starting it, and then it didn't work.
And that's when we got very sad, and you didn't want to start your interview with us yet because we were looking so depressed.
Yeah.
And because I thought I fixed everything, and then it was still not giving water on the back of the boat.
Yeah.
And it's a bit embarrassing. It happened to be I just didn't open
The tap.
the tap where the water comes in.
It happens.
Oh, it's so
I'm
good
so
though.
like, I'm happy that
Yeah.
you say that.